Hello, beautiful people. So I have a new hobby and I need your help. So I'm going to tell you all about it. This is super vulnerable for me because you're probably going to find out things about me that you did not know. Last year, 2017, I was technically still working, but out of the entire year, I worked 28 days. And not all of those were full days. Sometimes I left early to go to the emergency room or just because I didn't feel good. In August 2017, I accepted that my body could no longer handle working full-time or part-time for that matter. And then a couple of months later, I accepted that mentally I was not able to handle going to school. Both of those things were really, really hard for me. I totally love my job and I love education. I love learning. So since then, I have been searching to find something that would be fulfilling but not overly taxing on me physically or mentally. And I will tell you what happened. So in January of 2018, I have a friend named Cami, and she started a spiritual gifts Facebook group, and she invited me to join. I didn't really think about it too much. I love Cami. I think she's a lot of fun. Everything she touches is fun. And so I was like, yeah, add me. Because, you know, with chronic illness, social media has become a huge part of my life. I have a hard time getting out to socialize, and so I use social media a lot. So when people talk bad about it, I'm like, hey, wait, let me tell you the good stuff. Those of us that are stuck in the house, it connects us to the outside world, and that is awesome. First, she had a PDF about spiritual gifts, and I found it a little bit confusing. I mean, I understood the spiritual gifts, but figuring out which ones were mine were kind of hard. First, she was doing live videos explaining the spiritual gifts, and then she started doing classes about muscle testing and what are spiritual gifts and how to find out which ones you have and all this stuff. And I was just soaking it up like a sponge. The only issue that I had is that there's this term GUP. It stands for God, Universe, Higher Power. And what it is to encompass any possible higher power. I don't identify as a God, Jesus person. And so I thought of myself as an atheist. I didn't tell many people this, but that's how I saw myself. And so with Cami's stuff, she was constantly talking about GUP. And I'm like, well, I don't need a GUP. It doesn't apply to me. But the more I listened to her, the more she was talking about how important GUP is in your life. And then eventually she even called it the wildlife of worship and made t-shirts and mugs. And I'm like, that's so frustrating to me. But I just couldn't stop participating. And throughout this process, I accepted that my GUP is the earth. It's important to me that it's not a he or she. It's not judgmental. It just is. I accept that I am a part of the earth and I can't live without it. So that's how it became my GUP. And so I was frustrated with that for a little bit because how can you be atheist and spiritual? And that was confusing to me. So Cami started a class, a special class to train people to do what she does. She does spiritual gift sessions, alignment sessions, and entourage sessions. And so I signed up to take these classes. And in the process of taking the classes, I realized I'm an outlier. I can't really be identified as an atheist. I've been referred to once as an atheist with angels, but what I really am is an outlier. I do not fit in society's boxes. I am my own unique person, and trying to fit in society's boxes makes my life really difficult. So I'm not doing it anymore. I'm gonna be me, and I don't fit in a box. So through this training, I have become a spiritual alignment coach. And what that means is that I can do spiritual gift sessions to help you find out what your spiritual gifts are and how they can help you in your life. I can do entourage sessions to find out who is energetically with you, to support you. So an example, maybe I should give you some examples. So one of my spiritual gifts is love of individuals. I genuinely love every person that I come in contact with, and that affects how I treat them. So that's pretty cool. And then with the entourage sessions, so in my entourage, I have a woolly mammoth that I can, when life is too hard, I can just lean back on a big carpety leg and feel supported. So I have a logical guy in my brain that says this stuff is crazy. How can you believe that stuff? One time in one of Cammie's classes, she said something that I'll never forget. If a story helps, then it's a good story. So even if all of these things are just stories, they have helped me so much. So that makes them good stories. The best kind of session that I do is an alignment session. So you can have an intention. You come into the session with an intention, and I help you find an alignment phrase that's 10 out of 10 with your soul, that your soul just loves it. And then check 10 different areas and see where you're not in alignment with that intention. And we fix it. And it helps you to move forward in your life to get what you want. Now, I'm not a therapist. So if you have mental health issues, you still need to see your regular therapist. I'm a spiritual alignment coach. So the thing is, I'm halfway through my program. To graduate from the program, I need to do 10 paid alignment sessions, 5 paid spiritual gift sessions, and 5 paid entourage sessions. So if you are interested, I am going to include a link to the website where you can book a session with me. And I am super excited to work with you. Now, if your gup is not the earth, say you are a traditional God, Jesus person, or your gup is Buddha or Zeus or a big purple butterfly or a shiny rainbow, whatever you see as your higher power, I can still work with you. Or if you don't have a gup, that's okay too. I've been there. I know what that feels like. So I can help you find one or borrow one. We'll figure out what works for you. I love being a spiritual alignment coach. When I'm having a really hard time, and I guess that's it, when it's tough being chronically ill and dealing with everything that I have to deal with, doing a session, it reminds me of the light that I have inside, that I have to share with people. And then after I do a session and people are so happy with the results and they tell me what a difference I made in their life, I feel great. For a moment, I can forget about how sick I am. And that is awesome. So this has been so fulfilling to me through helping people, and also because I can help myself. I know what my spiritual gifts are and who is in my entourage, and I can do alignments on myself, or if it's a really tough one, then I can ask one of my classmates to help me out. So this has been amazing. And I'm sure you're gonna feel that way too. I look forward to talking to you. Bye.